Welcome to my late November garden tour here in California. I'm starting with the front yard here with a late season Cosmo, but there is also a sunflower that is going strong in here as well, which I hope will be blooming soon. I have this planter of some late season zinnias. No clue if they will bloom before it gets too cold, and there is also a dwarf sunflower in here, but this is the container that I planted freesia bulbs in last year, and it looks like one has come up a bit. The front yard perennials look terrible, but they're just pretty much dormant right now, so I'm not worried about them, but they will perk back up in the late winter or early spring. Over here, I surprisingly came across these saffron crocus flowers. I did not expect to see these because I never even saw the foliage come up, and I am out in this area a lot, so I should have seen them, but they seemingly came out of nowhere. I'll be harvesting these threads later today, but this is exciting. In the backyard, I sowed onions in this bed and put these trays over them to keep the squirrels from digging, but that didn't stop them. But for the parts they didn't dig up, I've not seen any germination. They were old seeds, so that's probably why. So I'll plan to plant some more radishes and carrots in here. But on the other side of the bed here, the sweet peas are doing their thing. I've got some Tom Thumb peas under this basket. They are supposed to stay small, so they'd be great in containers. I still have some tomato plants going strong and putting out new flowers and fruit, and this is where I planted some beets, but again, they were old seeds, so I don't know how good the germination rates are. If I don't see anything, I think I might grab some fresh seeds and see if I can get those to grow. The peppers are still going really strong too. I've got so many pepper plants that I plan to overwinter in place, but they are still producing, so I'll wait on pruning them down for that. I've got my citrus trees doing their thing over here in small containers. I need to pot them up or find a good spot for them in the ground somewhere, but they're doing pretty well right now regardless. I have a tangelo here that I'm going to pick later today before a squirrel does. I have a yuzu here that's just about ready to be picked. Yuzu is actually a lime, but when they're ready, they are yellow. But this one still has a touch of green on it, so I'll wait a few more days. Over here, I have a little variegated pink lemon. It's yellow and green on the outside, but pink on the inside. This is some kale I started in trays to transplant once I get my pill bug infestation fully under control, and I have some corn salad coming up here. It's a leafy green and has nothing to do with corn despite the name. Here are some spinach sprouts and some scarlet kale and purple lady bok choy over here as well, all to be transplanted once they get bigger. I have some more tomatoes over here in this bed, and then in this bed we have a little sunflower that just bloomed the other day. I have more sunflowers here that should be blooming soon. That's the benefit of living in a warmer zone, is sunflowers can bloom most of the year. Over here I have my green queen artichoke that I got this year, and it has just been loving all of the rain we've had. And over here is another garden surprise. This is my purple imperial star artichoke, and I am shocked to see this. I know you're supposed to cut them down at the base at the end of the season, but when I went to do that, I was able to just pull it out. In fact, here is the piece that I pulled out here. It just came straight out, and I thought it was dead. And last week, I didn't see any of this, and yet here it is coming back. It even looks like multiple plants that I may want to divide up. It's very exciting, and that reminds me, I did see a tiny cardoon leaf pop up a few weeks ago, so I'll bet there's been a lot of growth over there. So let's go and see. And yep, it's definitely having a comeback, which is so exciting. I love seeing things come back to life. It may be getting colder and gloomier here, but this time of year is a good time to see things coming back to life that didn't do well in the summer. I also finally got my dragon fruit potted up in this planter. I won the planter in a giveaway and it finally arrived after a couple of months. It's on wheels, so I can move it around, which is nice. I put a bunch of junk in here to keep the squirrels from digging. The plant itself looks kind of a mess in here, but I think it'll look really nice once it grows out and fills up the trellis and can be supported by the trellis. And this is a self-fertile variety, so I don't need a second dragon fruit plant. And I have a nice cluster of these marigolds. These are the court jester variety, and I love their stripes. The shishito peppers in this planter are still doing really well. I should probably harvest some of these soon. And then I also planted some radishes in here the other week, which are starting to come up. I feel so lucky to have such a long growing season, and I definitely try to make the most of it. And I can't wait to show you the garden a month from now because I bet there will be so many new things to share with you.